Right. So we start with sociology. So we start with unit 1, theory and methods. Introduction. So when we talk about sociology tries to understand how people behave in the society, that the relationship people has or people have with the society, what makes them to behave the way they behave, and why would they have behaved that way? That is what sociology is about. So yeah, I said sociology tries to understand and explain the relationship between people and the society they live in. So it's about the society, which is the group you belong to as an individual. That is what society is. So what do you do in this group? What do you do within this society? So this is what sociology is going to tell us. So at the end of it all, there are structures that either we make or makes us. Do you get what I'm saying here?
It makes us.
Yeah, either we make the structure or the structure makes us. That is what sociology is about. That's why we have the interpretivist and the structuralist. So basically, there are actions that has been taken in the society, either through individuals taking that action, or the structure, the society itself, makes individuals to take the action. So there are two things here. Either it comes from the individual perspective or it comes from the society perspective. This is all what sociology is going to let us to understand. You get the point here?
Yes.
So that's the first thing. Then, what is the society? I said it already. Society is that group that an individual belongs to. So basically, sociologists, they said sociology consists of actions and beliefs of people and how these things can change the society. So our actions, our belief, that has to change the society. That's the reality. So whatever the society that we have right now, it's either we make it or it makes we. That is what we're talking about here. So they said individuals have complex behavior. As a result, sociologists use different kinds of tools to study them. They use theories and methods to explore these things. So individuals, we are dynamic. So our behaviors are complex. So it needs theories, it needs methods. So we need deep analysis to understand why we have done what we have done, why we have behaved that way we have behaved. What is the society thinking about how we behaved, and how are we seeing the society? So all these things are complex. They are not things that we can easily understand. That's why we have the sociologists. So what do sociologists do? They have different approaches to how to understand the society. So that brings us to talking about the interpretivist approach and the structuralist approach. So we start with the structuralist approach. So we're talking about how individuals or how sociologists interpret the society. So the interpretation of the society will be based on how they approach the society. So we have the structuralist. So they said there are two main approaches to sociology, which is structuralist and interpretivist. So I'm starting with structuralist here. So for structuralists, the approach focuses on large scale, which is the macro, and which are social structures and institutions rather than individuals. So when we talk about institutions here, we're talking about families, we're talking about the society, we're talking about schools, we're talking about, so these are what institutions are. And the social structure are the ties we have, maybe through the church, through the mosque, through our parents. These are all what the society is about. So for structuralists, they see more of this social structure than individual. So they believe that individuals are puppets, which society is pulling the strings. So it means that for structuralists, they believe that whatever we do as individuals is based on how the society made us. That is how structuralists sees the society. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let's say the last part again.
Yeah. For structuralists, their approach is positivist, is positivism. What it means is that they use natural science in their approach. They use correlation and causation. So before we go into correlation and causation, what I'm trying to let you understand is this. For structuralists, we said sociology is about studying the relationship, understanding and explaining the relationship between individuals and the society they live in. That is what sociology is about, right?
Okay.
Great. So we cannot really understand how the society is because the society, individuals, we are complex, we are dynamic. It's difficult to people are difficult to understand. Even the society itself is difficult to understand. So the sociologists, they now divided it into two ways of interpreting the society. So some interpret it on the individual level, which is the interpretivist, and others interpret it on the society level itself, which are the structuralists. That means they interpret the society according to or based on the structure of the society. That's why we call them structuralists.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So for structuralists, yeah, I said they see the society as a set of structure which individuals play a definite role. So the structure is there, which we have to play into. So our roles are always there because the society has made our roles available. So whatever happens, it is happening because we fit into that role. So the society has pulled us to behave the way we have behaved. That is what structuralists believe on.
Mhm.
So do you get that now?
Yes.
So then I said this, okay, this means the role individual play are important than the individual. Okay, the roles individual play. Yeah, I said they see society as a set of structure which individual play a definite role. This means the role individuals play are more important than the individual themselves. So what they are saying is this: you play a role in the society,
Okay.
but your role would have caused an action, yes or no?
Yes.
So at the end of it, something would have happened.
Yeah.
So they see the role you play.
Okay.
They see the role. They feel that the role you play is more important than you yourself.
Yeah.
Because whatever you have done would affect the society. So they see the society, not you.
Yes.
Do you get structuralist?
They see your action, but not you.
They see your action, not you. Do you get it? So because your action would affect, your action is going to affect the third party.
Yeah.
And who are the third party? The society.
Yeah.
So that means they see the society than you. So whatever you do is more important to them than who you are.
Yes.
Do you get it? So they feel your action as add-on to what the society has become. You understand? Because your action would have created a result. This result is part of the society. So they see the macro, not the micro, not the individual that did it.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yes,
so that's why they said this means the role individual play are more important than the individuals themselves. So what role you play, the role you play is more important to them than you as an individual.
Yeah.
Do you get the point there? So sociologists use theories to discover social structure that may be hidden from individuals. So examples of structuralist approach is the work of Emile Durkheim on suicide. So for Emile Durkheim, he is a structuralist using positivist approach.
Okay.
So what he's trying to understand is that, or what he's trying to let us understand is that suicide is not something that is private. It's not something that is individualistic. It is the society that makes it to happen. That is his own belief. So here I wrote, he chose to study suicide because we always think it is an individual act motivated by private struggles. So we, the society, we believe that whenever someone commits suicide, we think because he is troubled, he is depressed, he has some private issues that has made him or her to commit suicide. But for Emily, he believes that is not the case. He believes that the social structure made individuals to commit suicide, not just that individual himself or herself.
Because they didn't get the attention, that's it.
Probably. So let's see what they wrote here. He tried to show that social forces are behind suicide. So for example, the connection between individuals and support networks, such as the family. So for Emily Durkheim, he believes that suicide is connected with social forces, like the connection between family and the connection between religious group. Do you get it? So for Durkheim, he believes that if the society, I think that's the first or second.
That's the second.
Yeah, it's okay. So he concluded that if there are strong relationship between an individual and the family, the rate of suicide would reduce.
Yeah.
It means that people are not always available. The society is not always available to listen to people that are depressed, that are having private issues, troubles. That's why they result into committing suicide. Do you get it? So for Emily, he believes that the high rate of suicide is as a result of what the society has made of them.
So yeah, the attention. There's
no attention.
Yeah.
That people do. The society doesn't give these people attention. That there's no close connection between them. So whenever there's no strong, a weak connection will increase the rate of suicide. Why a strong connection will reduce the rate of suicide. That is about Emily. Do you get it? So he uses correlation and causation. And when we talk about correlation, it's basically talking about two variables with evidence that, oh, when this thing happens, this thing would happen. So strong connection will reduce suicide. So these are two variables. Suicide is a variable, connection is a variable. So they believe whenever this variable happens, the next variable will happen.
Yeah.
That is correlation. So if this happens, this would happen. That is what correlation is about. So the relationship between two variables. But sometimes it is difficult to find the causation.
Causation, what's that?
Causation means why it happened. For example, now let's talk about, people might say ill health. Like ill health is because people are poor. But it is not. Because some people are rich and they are still having ill health. Some people are poor and they are healthy. Do you get it?
They don't know why. That's
so,
the thing.
Yeah, so, a theory says ill health is as a result of being poor. That people are not healthy because they are too poor. That is what I'm talking about here. But not all poor people are not healthy.
Yeah.
Some poor people are healthy. And not all rich people are healthy. Some rich people are not healthy. So do you understand? So
yes.
There are correlations, but it's difficult to find the causation. So poor health or ill health might be as a result of being poor, and it might not be. It might be as a result of being careless. So there are different reasons why we could have it. Do you get the point here?
Yes.
So for Emily Durkheim, he believes that there's correlation between suicide and the connectivity between the social forces, like the family and the religious group. Do you get the point there? So that is about correlation. Then I wrote causation. Causation is a simple idea that one thing caused another thing to happen. So for causation, it means that this thing would make that thing to happen. But the problem about causation is that it is difficult to find in sociology. Because sociology is a complex situation. So it's difficult to find the reason for something. If it was easy, we would have said that the society caused everything. We wouldn't be saying it is individuals, it's the society, it's the individual, it's the society. So it is diverted. So it could be the society, it could be the individual. So that's why we cannot find causation. It's difficult to find causation in sociology. We can only correlate.
Yeah.
You're getting it now, right?
Yeah, I get
Great.
it.
So according to structuralist approach, individuals have little freedom of thought, but people think they do. Individuals are puppets, and hidden social forces are pulling the strings, making individuals to behave the way they do. So, for structuralists, they believe that individuals have little freedom about their thoughts. That whatever they do, they don't have that authority to do everything themselves. There's something pulling them to do what they are doing. So the society, that means individuals sin, according to structuralists, they believe we are puppets, that the society is pulling us.
Yeah.
So wherever it pulls us to is where we be, whatever we do. So when they pull us right, we behave right. They pull us left, we behave left. That is what structuralists are talking about. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
So we go to interpretivist. For interpretivist, I wrote, they start with the individual rather than the society. So the focus is on the micro.
Yes.
Do you get it? So they focus on what makes individuals to do what they do, not just what they did.
Mhm.
That is about interpretivists. Do you get it?
Yes.
So interpretivists believe individuals are in control, pulling the strings of the society. So for them, they believe that we are the one pulling the strings of the society.
So it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. So they believe that we make the society we are living in. Do you get it?
Yes, yes.
So they believe people make the society they live in and change them through their actions. So if, for them, they believe that if we don't like these settings, we change it with our action, we change it. Not that the settings will change us. They feel that we change the settings according to our actions. That is about interpretivists. So they use research.
Yeah.
So interpretivists are interested in how individuals make sense of the society and of social actions. So their interest is about how we make sense of the society, how we see the society, and how we see the actions we have done. Do you get it? For interpretivists, their interest is about how we define the society.
Mhm.
How do we make sense of this society? What do we think about this society? That is for interpretivists. Because they believe that we run the society, not the society running us.
Yes.
That is what I'm saying here. Do you get it now?
Mhm.
Okay. So they study the society from the level of individual. Their interest is about how people see themselves and what makes up their identity. So basically, for interpretivists, they focus on our identities, our label. And when you talk about identity, we're talking about how we see ourselves and how other people see us. Other people see us.
Yes.
That is what our identity is. Do you get the point there?
Yes.
So, therefore, in society, we are given labels, and this can be part of our identities. So we choose among part of identities that are socially available to us, and we reject others. So people will call you certain names.
Yeah.
People will relate you to certain things. If it's okay by you, you accept it. If it's not okay by you, you reject it. So these are social available identities. So they are all there for us to choose, for us to decide. So we decide on what we feel fits us, and we make sense out of it.
Yes.
Do you get the point here? So labels are socially available. Labels that are socially available include one, the sex and gender identities. We're talking about you're a male or female. So your identity is being a male. You can identify yourself as male, and it's fine.
Mhm.
And you can identify yourself as female, it's fine. So it's an identity that you have said yes to, accepted, or you're going to reject.
Yes.
Ethnic identity, the group you belong to, the ethnic group you belong to. Oh, I'm from Soman, I'm from Zuara.
Yeah.
That's an identity. Yeah, I'm a Libyan, I'm a man, but I feel people should call me, should call me or should identify me as someone from Zuara. That's what you want.
Yes. Yes.
Do you understand? Nationality. Oh, I'm a Nigerian, proudly Nigerian. That's my own identity.
Mhm.
Occupation. Oh, I'm a teacher. Don't address me as a man. Don't address me as a Muslim. Don't address me as this. Address me as a teacher,
Mhm.
as a banker. So
Yes.
this is an identity I wanted. So I've accepted that. The rest I'm not accepting it. This is what this is how I see myself, and I want people to see me that way.
Yes.
So when you look at identities, so it means that whatever happens in the society, according to interpretivists, we make it happen based on our actions. So that means you called a banker because you want people to call you a banker. So,
Yes.
oh, he's a banker. The society calls you the banker because you want to be identified as a banker. Not the society that makes you the banker. You made the society to call you the banker. That is what interpretivists are.
Yes, I get it.
Do you get it now?
Yes, yes.
So for roles within the family, such as a parent, you don't want to be addressed as a man. You want to be addressed as a father. You want to be addressed as the first child.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are many boys in my family. So I don't want boys. I want the first child. That is what I want to be identified as.
Yes.
Do you get interpretivist here? Membership of a religious or political group. Oh, I belong to AMPP. So forget about my religion, forget about me being a man, forget about me being a banker or a teacher. I belong to this group. So identify me as part of this group.
Like I'm the ministry or something like that.
Yes. Oh, I belong to a political party. Oh, I'm a Muslim. Identify me as a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Is it clear?
Yes.
So for interpretivists use research. I told you earlier, they use research methods that try to discover what meanings people give to their action and how they interpret the world around them. So for interpretivists, what they think most about is what meanings do people or individuals give to what they do? How do they see their society? What definition do they give to their society? Because whatever definition they give to their society is what the society will be called. Whatever meaning they give to the society is what the society will be known as. This is Libya. Libya does not just become Libya. People make it Libya.
Yes.
People called it Libya for a reason. So for interpretivists, that is how they see things.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
But for some structuralists, they believe the settings made people to call it Libya. Do you get the approach now? Do you understand?
Yes.
So interpretivists will want to know why people do what they did, not just what they do. So, for example, now when crime happens, when crime happens, for structuralists, they feel that crime has happened because the society is not structured well. Government are not doing their part. The society allows it to happen.
Yes.
That is according to structuralists. But for interpretivists, when crime happens, the first thing they want to know is why did that individual did it? Why did he commit that crime? Not just the crime he committed. The crime he committed affects the society.
Yes.
So structuralists would think more about the crime committed. Interpretivists would think more about the person, the individual that committed the crime.
The reason why he did it.
The reason why he did it.
Yes.
Not the crime. The focus on structuralists is about the crime committed.
Yes.
But for interpretivists, it's about that individual who did the crime and why he did the crime or she did the crime.
One is about the action and one is about the individual.
Individuals. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's the difference between interpretivists and structuralists. But both of them are talking about how the society is being interpreted. So to talk about how the society is being interpreted, it's basically about the structuralist approach and interpretivist approach. So they say summarize the main difference between structuralism and interpretivism. Structuralism is about how the society pulls the string as individuals are puppets. And for interpretivism, it's a sociological perspective that says that individuals pull the strings, not the society. Yes. I think it's clear.
As shown in the picture, right?
Yeah, so they said the picture on page 9 shows puppet and strings. Yeah. Think of another way of showing the different approaches in visual way, using a few words. So yeah, look at it here. This is structuralism. Society is pulling the string, and in the interpretivism, individuals are pulling the strings. I think it's clear. Is it clear, please? Yes. All right. So we stop there for interpretivism and structuralism. It's okay. Hold on, please. No.
Don't tell me it's not recording.
No, it's okay. It's gonna end now.
What an interesting subject. Wow.
So let me write other notes now.
Huh?
I will write other notes.
Yeah, okay. I don't know, it's like giving me psychology things. But no, it doesn't involve. It's a good topic. Interesting one.